Hey everybody, welcome back. We are on the Monstabear server. I am Tegorso, this is Garen, and today we are going to be working with our Nether tunnel. Oh, there we go. We have a little bit of work to do in it. It's pretty much just plain old netherrack right now. There is absolutely nothing special about it. So we have a little bit of repair work and design to do. So we've got some materials here. So we're just going to hop on through and get started. It's going to be exciting. Hopefully this is going to look rather amazing and good. I also need to make sure that I don't fall, because there's maybe 1 to 2 blocks of space between this and the nether floor, which has tried to kill me before. You see, sometimes we have to run through here and patch it up. You know, here's 2 blocks, and because ghasts have a tendency to spawn in this open area, and yeah, they launch fireballs. One of them landed all the way back there. That's what that was. So we are going to just do, oh, see that one right there, just 1 block and that is a far drop. All right, so oops, I need to make sure that I have all the appropriate blocks. Get these out of here. I don't need all those. You take these and a couple of these, and that should be good. All right, so we're gonna start with the floor. Yeah, let's go ahead and get rid of the wood. We're going to start with the floor because the floor has a tendency of, you know, dropping you down. So we definitely want to make this a ghast-proof system. So we're using cobblestone to line the sides, and we're using bricks for our design, because the cobblestone has a good blast resistance, whereas the netherrack is pretty flimsy. This stuff will pretty much shatter like glass. It's red butter, exactly. It doesn't protect from explosions at all. In fact, I think it has the same blast resistance as glass, which is pretty darn breakable. But while we're working on this, I got a couple things that I wanted to talk about today. And the first thing is, it's a little bit stronger than glass, but not much. There's been obviously a lot of talk going on about the next PlayStation, and I've been mulling the thought of, you know, this whole download / streaming thing. It seems like it's really starting to catch on. And, oops. That's not right. There we go. I lost one. And I've been thinking, what is this going to mean for GameStop? Exactly. You're a smart bear. You know, what is it going to mean for GameStop? I mean, GameStop, their entire business model is built around used game sales. Obviously, they sell new games. You know, that's a given. But they make a lot of money on used game sales, because used games are almost entirely profit. You know, they sell the game, make a profit, and then they buy back the game for, you know, less than what it's worth. Let's be fair here. That's their profit margin. Oh, darn it. Let's see if I can catch it. Oh, Garen got it. So they have their profit margin, and then they sell the game for more, making a profit. And it's been a really good business. I remember back in the days when GameStop was, you know, just this little tiny shop that sold games, you know, almost insignificant in a way. And then lo and behold, they become this gaming retailing behemoth that's just crazy profitable, and it's really impressive, to be honest. GameStop has a knack for almost printing money, it seems. So this whole used game thing is pretty good for them, and that's part of the reason why a lot of game companies have such an issue with the used game sales. Is I think they're jealous. They're jealous that their product is being used by GameStop, and under law, this is what GameStop is doing is all completely legal. And they're making essentially a killing on selling these games secondhand, and the developers and publishers, they want a cut of the action, is pretty much what it boils down to. But they're not entitled to it. They already sold that game once, and then if it changes hands multiple times, then that's a private matter. And this, I think it's known as the first sale doctrine, pretty much saying that you can sell your possessions, whether they're copyrighted or not. If you own like a book or something like that, then you can sell that book to somebody. You can loan it to your friend, and secondhand is sort of a big thing. Exactly. And they're trying to say, well, so it's licensed, it's not sold, you don't own it. But then as soon as your game disc breaks, they're going to give you a new one? No, you have to go buy another one. It's sort of a double argument. When it works in their favor, they're for it, but when it works against them, they're totally not. There's been, oh crap. Let me get that. There's been sort of this push for essentially what is different forms of DRM, or digital rights management, which I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with. But from what rumors, it's software Satan, and hardware Satan too. They have a DRM for hardware as well. HDCP, high definition content protection, is a hardware standard, and it's terrible. Oh, you bear. So anyways, like I was saying, well, it's not supposed to be easy. It's supposed to make your life hell. Joseph. That bear. So, we've actually seen a lot of people will argue that Steam is DRM, which is technically true. So, Steam isn't, or Valve isn't 100% innocent in this, but a lot of developers, a lot of publishers have been moving to a highly restrictive system to pretty much protect their profits regarding game sales. So instead of, allowing you to sell a game, they'll include like, maybe a code or something like that. Essentially what I think of as sabotage. They'll sabotage the game so you can't resell it. Not because it doesn't have any value, but because they've pretty much booby-trapped it. And should make that easy. And to be honest, I don't think that's right. A lot of companies will do this. Microsoft is actually starting to do this as well. So it's not just games; it's actually all different kinds of software vendors. But the games industry has been doing it first and quite a bit. They sort of pioneered it. Let's put it that way. They pioneered this DRM stuff. The movie industry wanted to have it first, but they couldn't actually make it work. So the games industry actually had the first working Hellspawn DRM, and it had limited success. And there are some that are more more effective than others. And when I say effective with sort of like air quotes, because none of the DRM is actually very terribly effective. It's actually terrible at doing what it's supposed to do. It actually is more of an inconvenience for legitimate buyers, people who actually went out and bought the game, than it is for pirates. Because that's essentially what this is about. It's got a dual purpose. It's a double-edged sword, so to speak. You've got killing of the used game market and the stopping of piracy, and in fact, DRM is actually only good at one of those things, which is killing the used games market. And piracy just goes on unabated. So their strategy is somewhat dumb, if you ask me. I feel like I'm going to fall here with this all being open. So it's just one of those things where, what's going to happen? It's hard to say. But GameStop, if I were GameStop right now, I would probably be a little nervous, because these DRM things are going to be becoming more and more commonplace as time goes on. There's been lots of rumors regarding the streaming for the PS3 games through the Sony, the Gaikai that Sony acquired, and then obviously there's been a big shift in the last couple of years towards downloadable content and digital games. So that is definitely another thing. I mean, once you download a game, you can't resell it, supposedly. So you can't really get rid of it. It's not like a physical disc. So that's and then that is also one of the downsides and sort of one of the benefits of Steam, because you can pick it up really cheap through like a Steam sale or something like that. But all these are sort of different arguments. I'm sort of getting distracted and straying away from my original topic, which was how this is going to affect GameStop. I think you guys are sort of used to my circular talking, but it's definitely something that GameStop is concerned about. They've had a lot of discussions with executives from game publishers, and they're trying to maintain this market with the I think, yes, that's where we want to go, with the used game sales, and rightfully so, because it's a very lucrative market. But unfortunately, I think the tide is going to be against them as far as the future is concerned. So to be honest, I couldn't imagine what a world without GameStop would look like. And it's sort of one of the exciting things, and yet also one of the scary things about this sort of digital transition that we're in, is, we haven't ever been here. There hasn't been a time where you didn't need to go to a online retailer, or a brick and mortar retailer to pick up a game or anything like that. So we're in uncharted waters, and there be dragons here. So I worry. Yes, there are dragons in the water, and we are but a small boat. because if the used game market goes away, I think that in the long run is going to hurt game sales. Whoa. Hey, Gast. Let's see, can I nick him from here? Hit the nether rack. Shoot. It's going to hurt game sales in the long run because you're going to have people who are going to be like, well, I'm less inclined to pick up this game via pre-order because I know that once I get it, I can't get rid of it. I'm not going to be able to resell it. So I'm going to want to wait until the first reviews come out. And, I think that what the game developers and the publishers are going to find is that their ecosystem that they've set up to train gamers to be impulse buyers is going to sort of crumble and fall apart. It'll last for a little while, but I think that all it's going to take is maybe a year or two, and you're going to see a lot of people who are going to start relearning their habits. They're not going to be picking up those games. First day sales, are going to drop. All their metrics are going to have to be redone. Their profits are going to be slower to come. They're going to, see more long-term sales rather than the short-term bursts, from like first day sales, which they apparently really like. They love touting those first day sales numbers, but we're just going to have to see. But that's just something that I've been thinking about. And because, I think about this sort of stuff and, what different moves are going to mean for the games industry as a whole quite often. So this is just another step. I think it's in the previous steps where they were just sort of like testing the water. It concerns me too, and that's sort of why I talk about this, so that we can have discussions, and people, maybe somebody who didn't think about what this is going to mean for them will start thinking about it. But I've been seeing the encroachment slowly but surely. You see one game do it, and then next thing another publisher tries it, and then they each have two games doing it. And here we are, we're moving to an entire ecosystem where this sort of DRM thing is the norm, which is quite concerning for all of us, for the future of games and the games industry. So it's something that I will be watching with great interest, and I think everyone else should as well. So if you guys have a opinion on this, I encourage you to share it in the comments. Let me know what you think, because once the PlayStation 4 announcement happens, which will actually be today at about, I think, 3 o'clock Pacific time, we're going to be talking about this again. So I want you guys to sound off. Let me know what you think, and because we are going to be talking about this again. So that is just something that I wanted to sort of give you as food for thought. And now your brain has been fed. Now regurgitate it. Give me something good. That was kind of gross. I'm sorry. But so yeah, anyways, moving on into other sort of gaming interesting tidbits. NVIDIA, who makes graphics cards for PCs, has a new flagship. I think that's what I should call it. I should call it a flagship graphics card out. And I will tell you, this thing is a beast. Now, those of you who have been with us for quite a while, you guys know that I'm a hardware guy. Garen does the software and the math and all the smart stuff. I do the hardware. So when I I was sort of caught off guard because I don't pay attention to graphics hardware too much, because usually it's just iterations, and I really only pay attention to really big developments. New processor dies and new designs, like when AMD, or I'm sorry, not AMD, when NVIDIA went from Kepler to from Tesla to Kepler, or is it the other way around? I'm forgetting. Anyways, so this NVIDIA card comes out and they announce it. It's called Titan. And this thing is ridiculous. This is like, I think for right now, turn. I think it would be the closest thing to hardware perfection with current technology. This graphics card has an incredible amount of power. If you linked a bunch of these together, you would actually have enough for a supercomputer. It's literally ridiculous. So I'm just gonna list off like a couple things here because my mind was just blown. It's got one processor that is capable of processing 4.5 teraflops, which is really good, especially for a graphics card. And it is an intense piece of hardware. I mean, it's just crazy. So that was the first thing. The next thing was how many... Huh? Oh, slurbs. I see. Slurbs. There you go. Slurbs. The next thing is how many processing cores this thing has. It's stupid. It's got like almost 3,000 processing cores. Oh yay, lanterns. I need replacement stuff here. It's got like 2,600 32-bit processing cores, and then like almost 900 64-bit processing cores. And this is by far the most powerful GPU available. And in fact, I think that this whole system right here actually qualifies as its own computer. It's got an incredible memory bus. It's got a 84-bit memory bus with 6 gigabytes of RAM. And I mean, that's just crazy. But the best part about this is the processor. It is 551 millimeters squared. Okay, that's the complete die size. They pack in 7.1 billion with a B transistors, and that is probably the most impressive technological advancement that comes along with this processor that they've got, because I believe that is the absolute limit as far as cell lithography is capable of producing. Like, I don't think that they could make it any better or pack any more transistors onto that sucker if they tried. So it's pretty intense. So, I mean, I want one so bad, but there ain't no way I'm ever going to be getting one of these. The graphics card costs $1,000. It's really expensive. And of course, you know, the like really big gaming companies who make high-end PCs already have systems that come with the Titan, and I'm sure they're like $5,000, you know, just for like an i5 processor. Most of the cost is going to be tied up in the graphics card. But to be honest, I don't know when you would have to ever replace that graphics card, or if you ever would have to replace it. I mean, I think we'd have to come out with, quantum computing in Crysis 2. It could probably run multiple instances of Crysis 2, as long as you're CPU'd in bottleneck. And then that's the real thing, isn't there? It's not the graphics card, it's the bottlenecks elsewhere in the computer. So, yeah. So it's pretty intense. It is pretty intense. So obviously I would love to have it. If anybody feels like they want to donate $1,000, feel free. I will love you forever and ever. Though don't really. It's quite alright. I don't want it. I don't even think my computer could handle that much processor power. I guess we could, maybe. But I don't think anybody's gonna think that's worth it. What? Okay. So, let's see. What else did I want to talk about? Oh, yeah. Oh, it's okay. You're my favorite bear. You're my favorite bear. And, yes, Gira needs surgery to mend his broken heart. Oh, crap. That's not what I wanted. So there you go. And, a powerful, graphics card will help us, develop the technology and medical devices needed to save him. So everybody keep that in mind. I don't know. You know what I just thought of? This would have been a lot better with vines. Oops. I really want vines. I wish it would have. All right. This is looking pretty good. I'm pretty happy with this. I'm just randomly placing lanterns here throughout the thing. Gives it sort of a randomly. I think it looks good. There's sort of like a pattern, but not really. It's sort of like haphazard. Oh see, this is what I was talking about right here. There's a ghast, Garen, be careful. So we got to go in here and oh geez. Okay, is there no fire? That was my fault. Oops. I got hit in the head. So that is one of the reasons why we decided to use ghast here. Stone rather than wood like some other people, because it was terrible the other day. Let's see, where is it? It was. Yeah, poor Giraffoid. See, this is a ghast. There's supposed to be red wool here. I don't think Giraffoid has fixed his thing yet. Let me see. I don't know where everybody's house is, but let's see if I can find it. Oh, okay, he fixed it. There was a ghast that hit a fireball in here, and all of this burned down. I felt so bad. Everybody was like, "Oh no, Giraffoid's tunnel!" So we were all in here like pounding out the fire and everything. So we tried our best to save it. I feel bad for the poor guy. Apparently, it's not the first time it's happened. So we decided to use stone. Oh, that bear. So that way, when the ghast balls come in here, they don't cause any damage or anything like that. So the bear's ornery tonight. So we are safe from having explosions and badness come into our tunnel and destroying it. So I am very happy that we made that decision. Let's see, what else do I want to talk about? Oh yeah, there's been a lot of talk about electric cars recently with the whole debacle with Tesla and the New York Times and their little spat, which apparently has resolved itself. It's sort of like a draw. Oh crap. But that's not what I wanted to talk about. What I wanted to talk about was electric motorcycles. I actually saw one on the road yesterday or the day before, and it was actually kind of cool. I was looking, and for those of you who don't know, I ride a motorcycle. I wasn't riding my motorcycle, but I always look at see what everybody has. It's just it's just a motorcyclist thing. You always check out, yeah, you always check out the other guy's bike. I don't have bike envy because I really like mine. But it's cool to see what other people have and, you know, what they, you know, sort of like customize on their bike, you know. But I saw this bike and it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. So I decided, I saw the tag on the side and I went and did a little bit of research, and it turns out I most certainly do not want an electric motorcycle. They sort of suffer from the electric car curse, I guess you could say. Oops, that's not what I want. Where they are really expensive, like ridiculously so, but they are not really up to snuff as far as what you're getting versus what you pay. So I was a little bit disappointed. I had heard about motorcycles or the electric motorcycles quite a while ago. I think it was a couple years, and it was sort of interesting. But you know, I figured that by now they would have at least come down in price, which they haven't, which is incredibly disappointing. And they haven't improved in technology all that much. They're still like, you know, they still have huge batteries. They're still stupidly expensive. You know, like, gosh, what was it? Like, the one I was looking at was like $13,000. And I was like, oh, no, I would much rather have a Harley for that much. And, you know, with motorcycles, it's like you can't really make the environmental sort of argument because, one, they get like 90 miles to the gallon. Not really, but they get really good gas mileage, and their emissions are negligible. I mean, you don't even have to like smog a motorcycle. So, I mean, yeah, it cuts down on gas, but I mean, do you have slabs? I need slabs. There's a lot of Ermagerd tonight. No, not stone slabs. I need stone slabs. Oh, we're all out? Ooh. Oh, liar bear. Oh, wow. It was hoarding all of them. Okay, so anyways, so I kind of don't really see the argument for electric motorcycles, especially since they're so cheap to gas and they don't really pollute all that much. So I probably hope to one day own electric vehicles, both my regular car and my motorcycle, but I am sort of a normal guy. I'm not going to be buying a $15,000 e-bike and, you know, a $100,000, you know, e-car anytime soon, unless there's some sort of dramatic price drop within the next couple years. But, you know, that's just something interesting that I had seen, and you know, we like that green stuff, but it's too expensive. It's way too expensive, man. They need to do some work, which actually sort of leads me to a segue. Oh no, I put out the fire. Pumpkins are orange. Pumpkins are orange, but that's not what I want to talk about. I really don't think that a lot of the electric stuff is going to become really affordable until we start getting some new batteries. I'm telling you, the whole reason why those cars are expensive is because the batteries are so expensive. They're big, they're heavy, they're inefficient as far as batteries are concerned. I can give you some. I don't have much left. We're gonna need to make some more. But you know, any of you guys who have a smartphone will pretty much realize or understand that batteries are not up to snuff. They are not very good. There's some more slabs for you. I was done. They are not efficient. They get hot. There are a lot of problems with them. And, you know, for all this advancement that we're seeing in, you know, processors and memory and computing, you know, computing and microization and things like that, we're not seeing the same amount of advancements in battery technology, which is disappointing and also concerning at the same time, because if you can't power your device or car or whatever it is that's running on your battery, how the hell are you supposed to get things done? And there are a few reasons for this, of which I will not go into them, because that gets into some stuff that it may be, you know, political or, you know, conspiratorial, and I don't really like doing that on this channel. But I personally really think that there needs to be some more advancements in battery, and, you know, they need to, you know, get off their butts, and there needs to start being some developments in battery technology, because I think that coming up here, probably within the next, this glowstone was here so I could always find my way home after going hunting for quartz. But I think that we're going to find ourselves in a pinch coming up here within the next couple years if we don't do something about our battery situation. And I think the Boeing Dreamliner that was just recently having a little bit of trouble, I think that's an indication of, you know, that we really need to get on it. And for those of you who aren't aware, the Boeing 787 Dreamliner, let me see if I have flint steel here real quick, was is like the new, like, huge ship, airplane rather, and it has been grounded around the world for multiple carriers because I can't believe I actually grabbed that flint and steel. I did not mean to do that at all. I'm so pro. But it got grounded by the FAA, by the Japanese government, because of bad batteries. And what kind of batteries are they? Lithium-ion batteries, of course. And what do we use in our phones? Lithium-ion batteries. Everything are lithium-ion batteries. It's crazy. So, yeah, we really need to work on that stuff. It's getting out of hand. Let's see if there's anything else that I can do here real quick, because we are looking like we're getting pretty close to being done here. There could be a little bit more smooth stone. We're actually running out of stuff. You need cobble. All right, I got there's some cobble for you. What are we gonna do about these here? Are we just gonna do brick half slabs? Okay, all right. Let me go make some of those. And I think once we get that done, we'll be pretty much done. This actually looks pretty good. I think one of the things that, and this is something that I was contemplating earlier when we were talking about how we wanted this to look. I was thinking about using mossy and cracked bricks intermittently, just like we did with the cobble up in the ceiling. I'm gonna have to talk to Monsters and see if we can scrounge up a stronghold, because I need some of those bricks. What am I doing? Oh my gosh. Zoom! Best thing ever. I love the click to drag. It's one of the things I can't wait for 1.5. Because I think that this sort of having like a like a sort of like cracked and wet feel. Makes it feel very unnether, but I think I like that feel. So we will probably hunt down a stronghold sometime in the future. Let's just get a little bit more light in here. Maybe one of the live streams is when we'll do it. I think that would be a good time. So that way we can just hang out with everybody and chat and... Oops, I'm sorry, Bear. That's sort of like an adventure thing that we go on, so we normally just like hang out with everyone while we did that. So definitely something I'll be considering on doing for the live stream this weekend. So I think it would be tons of fun sauce. Let's go ahead and put a couple more of these lanterns in here. Even though we don't really need them, it's more for just what's it called? Aesthetics. There we go. Oops. No, you were the wrong way. Because half of Minecraft is looks. There we go. And let's see, I don't have any obsidian on me, but I think that one's good enough. Look at that. Oh yeah. I sort of hate having to do the budget portals. I prefer doing the full portals. We'll change those out for obsidian later, so that way, the bottom part doesn't matter because it has to be flush. So you can omit those 2 obsidian in the corners, but these 2 up here, I prefer to have them filled out. So we're almost done here, but that's actually going to do it for this episode. We're mostly out of the things we need, so we're going to have to go back and collect some more stuff. But I hope you guys had fun hanging out with us on the Monstabear server, and we will see you next time. Take care.